Hey everybody, JP with Hot Rod Music Studios. Happy Saturday. We're going to check out a couple of things today. The last video you saw, we did an unboxing of that Epiphone Les Paul inspired by Gibson Custom Shop that's hanging on the wall over here. I told you I was going to do some mods with it, but first we're going to do a little demo of what I'm going to do the mods on. So I picked this up, I saw this at NAMM, and this is the Onstage guitar stand portable workbench. Super cool idea, and it'll make it easy for me to work on guitars while I show them to you guys in these videos. But I just want to do a quick overview of this. So this thing is super cool. I got it from Sweetwater. I'll put a link in the description. Basically it's adjustable in a bunch of different ways. It fits bass and guitar. It's got all these knobs that have these pressure fits on them, so you tighten it and you can pull and adjust accordingly. It all comes apart, of course, to adjust whatever kind of instrument you have in here. And then what's cool, the neatest feature about this is I'll put the guitar in here, and then you've got this ability to kind of flip it up this way and put it horizontally so that you have a workbench to work off of here. So we're gonna throw this Les Paul up here and replace the strings and replace it with that Guyker bridge, that wraparound bridge that I was mentioning. But just a quick tour of this. Super portable, very lightweight, very sturdy and flexible to hold guitars on. So without further ado, let's grab the guitar, we're going to throw it up there, and then we'll get our tools together and we'll start working on it. So again, just hang it here, and as you can see, you can adjust it so that it'll fit any guitar that you want to put in here. The feet on the bottom also adjust here to give you that surface to work on, and then we'll just pull this lever here, flip the guitar up, and then it locks into place by turning these screws in. These feet move a little bit depending on what you're working on, and then you have a nice stable work surface. So pretty awesome design here. I'm excited to use this to take this guitar apart and work on it with you guys today. Alright, as you can see, we got the guitar up here on the workbench. Since we're going to do restringing and we're going to replace this tailpiece, first thing I'm going to do is take all the strings off. So I'm going to grab my little string unwinder and do this fun thing here and loosen everything. And while we're in here, we're going to just clean up this fretboard a little bit. I mentioned that I got this off Reverb. It was mint condition, so slightly used. I'm guessing someone had it for a little bit and wanted to trade it out for something else, which is what I always do. All right, hold on. Music Nomad F1 oil. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here. Just a little bit goes a long way, so we'll just be very sparing with this. Real nice. All right. Now, here's this tailpiece that I mentioned. This is from Guyker. It's got these notches and it's designed, someone actually sent their feedback in and they went and produced it, which shows you that they listen to their customers, which is awesome. It's got these notches in there for top wrapping so that the string doesn't get stuck in there. And it's also got these really cool, I'm not going to replace the bushings in this guitar, but these screws in here are kind of dual action, right? So you unscrew it here, and then the tailpiece fits in. And not only do we have this action to lock it in so that it doesn't tilt anywhere back and forth like some of these Gibsons do. It's also got a little hex nut here to lock it into place. So we'll get that set up now. And take these old bolts out. And since we're top wrapping, we can basically deck this tailpiece all the way down. So don't need to remember really where it's at. And then, of course, once we get this on, new strings on, we'll go ahead and set up the intonation and everything a little bit later. So for now, take these bushings of this Guyker off. Since we're not going to use them, put them aside. Put these new ones in here. Don't recommend you do that. You don't want to mess up the finish on your guitar. But since this is all about what not to do, I'll just tell you not to do that. Let me show you this also. This is pretty cool about these. So as I mentioned, they're two pieces, right? So these are the brass inserts. You've got a slotted screwdriver notch in there so you can tighten them down and adjust them, and then once you put the tailpiece on, you'll lock them into place however you want them, which is really awesome. Using my Music Nomad tool here, get these put into place right where we want them. Now, just set the tailpiece on here. And then we'll tighten these top parts of these thumb screws on here. So we know that our tailpiece isn't going to move. Actually, I might raise that up just a little bit. Just a tad. Okay, here we go. The whole purpose of top wrapping is so that you can get a more slinky feel on your strings. So you want to make sure that the action is just a little bit lower than where the bridge is going to be so that you get that slinky feeling when you wrap those strings over the top. Go ahead and tighten this on. Make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, and now take this little Allen key, tighten up these little things here, make sure it's nice and tight there too. So you are guaranteed to have no movement on this tailpiece, and it'll be nice and solid so you get all that sustain that you would normally get. Okay, with that done, we are ready for some strings. Actually, before we do that, get my rag here. So I'm going to clean up these pickup covers a little bit since we're already in here doing some cleaning. Ernie ball, super Slinkies, my favorites. On stage, if you're listening, what would be cool is if there's a little attachment to have a little table, since this is your Workbench guitar stand. So since we're top wrapping, we're going to start going in through here, cut. There we go. Make sure that's seated. And then we're going to adjust our tuner so that the hole is straight up and down, actually a little bit off at an angle so you can see this. And we're going to do the trusty wrap around the wrong way first. I know it feels weird to do this. And then under, and then back over the top so you create a little loop. And we're going to hold that down, and then we're going to tighten this so that it locks onto itself. Normally I put locking tuners on everything, but this is a good way to get these strings locked in place without locking tuners. This is how all the professional guitar techs like to do these, which is just as good as a locking tuner. Okay, first string done. Now we'll do this real fast, and we'll speed this up on the video when we actually release it, so you won't have to watch me sit here and blab while I put strings on and take forever. And as you get up into the lighter gauge strings, I like to make sure that I leave a little bit more winding than I normally would on the heavier gauge ones, so that you get enough around the post for it to stay locked really well. I know some folks don't like that because you could lead to string slippage, but I feel like this helps you lock it in pretty good. And just like that, new strings, wraparound tailpiece. I will get this tuned up and then use my fancy 3D printed string stretcher to just kind of pull through here and make sure that we're getting the string stretched out properly. And seriously, on stage, make a table. I might have to design one and 3D print it, just hang off here so I have a little workspace. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you all. Look forward to more videos coming out as I acquire more gear and do some more mods. Hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for watching.